Hi vinyl community, it's Mike here, and in today's video I'm going to show you what I've been listening to in the last couple of weeks. So some of the records are new purchases for me, new releases. Most of them are stuff that I've had in the collection for quite some time, and right at the end I'll show you some really lovely VCLT that I received about two and a half weeks ago. So without further ado, let's get on with it. And the first one is not a new release, it's from 2020, and it's by this band. They're called Warm Digits, as you can see, and this is their album Flight of Ideas. And Warm Digits are a duo. One of the guys is from Newcastle, I believe, and the other one is from the Manchester area. And they're very much a krautrock band. And most of their stuff is instrumental, but from time to time what they do is they get in singers that they really like to accompany their music. And there's quite a few really nice singers on this album. And the people they've got in to help them with the vocals are Emma Pollock, the Orioles are on here, Paul Smith and Rosie Plain. And Rosie Plain is an absolutely brilliant singer. I really love her stuff, and she's also a sometime member of the band This Is the Kit with Kate Stables. So another singer on here, another band is the brilliant Lovely Eggs. So we've got Holly singing on this on the second track called Feel the Panic, and Holly delivers the lyrics in her sort of her unique way, and it's absolutely brilliant. I really love this album. I really love Warm Digits. You know, they always surprise. So as I say, you know, it's very krautrocky, quite sort of electronic music, really. And yeah, and this particular album came with a free single, and I'll show you what else is in here. Yeah, there was a nice card in here, and it's signed on the back by the members of the band. And then you got the inner here with various details. But as I say, you know, they're very much a sort of a krautrocky band. I think they're really good. They don't really produce an awful lot of output nowadays, but when they do, I always make sure that I go and pick it up. And as I say, this is their one from 2020, and you can see the track list on there if the glare from the cellophane isn't too much. So yeah, so that's the first one. I've been listening to that. Right, second one is an album from 2018, and these guys are sort of experimental folk, I suppose. They're a bit sort of, you know, they're on the sort of indie rock sort of side of experimental folk, I suppose. And as I say, this is an album from them from 2018, and it's a band called Tunng. And the single that came with the album has just fallen out, and I've probably damaged it. No, I don't think I have. So there you go. So this is their album from 2018, and it's called Songs You Make at Night. And the concept of this is it's a story of a young woman called Jenny, who's a sleepwalker, a somnambulist, and she lives in the south of England by the sea. And early in the morning, when she's sleepwalking, she walks along the beach, and these are these are the songs that she's composes in her head while she's sleepwalking. So that's the idea. And yeah, it's a really, really lovely album. If you don't know Tunng, you know, you should really give them some time. So tracks on here. I mean, there's a track called Sleepwalking on here, but Dark Heart, I think, is probably my favourite on here. And on the inside, you've got the details there. On one side, there's a little story about Jenny the sleepwalker, and then, you know, members of the band here. So it says Tunng are Sam Genders, Mike Lindsay, Ashley Bates, Becky Jacobs, Martin Smith, and Phil Winter. And yeah, it's as I say, it's experimental folk, but it's not. It's not really sort of like really out there experimental folk. It's very, very accessible stuff, very tuneful, and as I say, I really like Tunng, and I think this is their best album. So that's it. So this is Songs You Make at Night from 2018 by Tunng. Right, next one, a little bit different. This band, they hail from Brooklyn. They're a duo. And they're called Molly Hamilton and Robert Earl Thomas, and they're known as Widowspeak, and this is their album called Plum. Plum was released in 2020, and they've got a new album out sort of any time now, probably June, July time, so I'm looking forward to that. So what are they like? I suppose they're sort of dream pop, a bit shoegazy, but they kind of straddle that line between sort of indie rock and country rock sometimes, you know, and it's really, really nice stuff. Really quite sort of gentle music, and I'll show you the unit here. So there's all the details, the lyrics on one side, and then there's a picture of the pair of them on the other side. So yeah, I mean tracks on this I really like. I really like the title track, Plum, obviously, but there's Y2K. That's a brilliant one. And which one else was I going to pick out? Oh yes, Ever True Love. That's another great song. But they're all really nice. As I say, it's sort of it's kind of just not quite, but sort of it's edging towards sort of, you know, Americana, sort of like country folk really, but still very much sort of dream poppy, shoegazy, and it's a really, really lovely combination. And you know, have a couple of albums from Widowspeak, and I'll definitely be picking up the new one when it's released shortly. So that's the third one. Right, this is an interesting one. This is like neoclassical really, and it's by a band called A Winged Victory for the Sullen, and it's called Invisible Cities. And this is, as I say, it's a sort of quite a sort of dark, ambient, neoclassical piece, and a little bit sort of drony, I suppose. Released in 2021, and it was first performed at the Manchester International Festival in July 2019. And again, it has a kind of krautrock feel to it as well, but you know, very much on the sort of, you know, neoclassical side of music there. And I really love this album. I hadn't heard it for a little while, you know, probably a couple of years, and I just came across it in the collection and thought, I've got to listen to that. So the band's unusual name, A Winged Victory for the Sullen, is taken from the title of a statue in the Louvre, and the statue in the Louvre is called A Winged Victory of the Summer Thrace, and it's a statue of Nike, the winged goddess of victory. So, for whatever reason, they decided that was a great name for their band, A Winged Victory for the Sullen. And I really like this stuff. I haven't got an awful lot of sort of neoclassical sort of composed works like this, but you know, the stuff that I do have, I really, really enjoy. So maybe I should get a bit more of it. So that's the next one. Now then, a live album, and this is an album that was released only a week or so ago, and it's one of my absolutely favourite bands, and it's Hurray for the Riff, Raff, and it's as you can see, it's called Live Forever, or maybe Live Forever, or maybe it's deliberately ambiguous, but that's the title anyway. And it says it was recorded live at the Old Town School of Folk Music. And it's a lovely double album. Comes with a sort of fold out sort of poster of the band there, and the lady in the middle. That's Linda Segarra, and it's very much her project. She writes the tunes, and she's the lead singer there. And it's a really lovely sort of well recorded live album. So the majority of tracks on here are from the latest album called The Past Is Still Alive. So you've got sort of brilliant tracks like Alibi starts off the whole set, and then you've got Hawk Moon again on the latest album. Snake Plant, which is like the title track. It's called Snake Plant, and then in brackets The Past Is Still Alive. Really nice. Precious Cargo is a great tune. And there are, I think, 3 tracks on here that aren't from the latest album. One of them is a brilliant Rhododendron. Again, one of my favourites, which was on the album before last. And then there's a track called Pyramid Scheme, and I'm not really sure where that's from. I mean, it may be a new track, I don't know, but I can't recall which album it would be on. But it's a great tune anyway. But the whole set ends, and it ends appropriately as far as I'm concerned, with an absolutely brilliant rendition of her classic song Palante. And Palante's on her album The Navigator, and it's 8 minutes 15 on here, and it's a really fantastic song, and it's about identity. It's about being Puerto Rican, because Linda Segarra is from the Puerto Rican community, and she grew up in New York, and I think she now lives in the south of the States. Alabama, perhaps. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, this album is absolutely brilliant. I love this album. I'm really pleased I picked up, and it's hardly been off my turntable in the last few days. So that's hooray for the Riff Raff, and Live Forever or Live Forever, whatever. Right. Next one, another new one, and this is a band that I didn't know anything about really, and I saw this album was coming out, and I had a listen online, and I thought, I need to get this, and it's a French band, and I think they hail from Lyon, and they're called Societie Etrange, and as you can see, the album is called Heat, and they're yet another krautrock band, and yeah, they're really good. The album is on the ever reliable Bongo Joe label. Bongo Joe do an awful lot of really great stuff, especially Latin American stuff. There's quite a lot in their catalogue. So yeah, if you go to their store, and you can see what they what's on offer. But always find that whatever they put out is usually worth a listen. And what's in here? There's not much in here really, but there's the back cover. I quite like this sort of monochrome, this drawing here. It's it looks very 60s, doesn't it? Maybe late 60s, very early 70s, and tracks on here. Heat is the title track here is really good, and there's Coquette, which is the opening track on side one, is really good, and there's what's it called, Soleil Lord, which is on side 2, and a track called Faf, which ends side 2. But again, it's very much sort of it's krautrock influenced music, and I'd not heard these guys before, and I think this is probably about their third album, but I think I'll certainly be looking out for more of their stuff. So that was a sort of bit of an unexpected purchase for me, but I'm really pleased that I picked it up. Right, one more new release, and this is from one of my favourite singers from New Zealand, and in fact my favourite singer from New Zealand, and it's a brilliant Aldous Harding, and she's a fantastic singer-songwriter. This album is called Train on the Island, and it's produced by John Parrish, and he does an excellent job with it. There's the inside for you, and so as I say, sort of John Parrish produces this. He also plays on the album, and there's a fantastic track. I think it's the last track on side one. Venus in the Zinnia it's called, and it's absolutely brilliant. But this whole album is really fantastic, as I expected it to be, because I absolutely love everything that Aldous Harding does. I find her music. She's got that sort of little bit of eccentricity to her personality, I think, which means that she sometimes goes in quite sort of unusual, quite sort of interesting directions with her music, and that's something that I really appreciate. So that's her latest album, released a couple of weeks ago, called Train on the Island. So that's that one. Right, now then, this one, an album that came out in 2022, and it's by a band called Modern Cosmology, and as you can see, it's called What Will You Grow Now? And this is a side project of the singer from Stereolab, Laetitia Sadier, and I absolutely love Laetitia Sadier's voice. It's second to none as far as I'm concerned. And she's teamed up with a Brazilian sort of indie band, who are sort of they're very much sort of Brazilian music, Brasiliana. It's that sort of music, and they're called Momo Bojo. And as I say, this is a great album. It's really got a sort of Stereolab sort of feel to it. So you've got bossa in here. You've got a bit of lounge jazz, and it's just a fantastic album. So you've got Making Something, Consent for Life, What Will You Grow Now, title track, Trauma Release Makes Free, Time to Blossom, and it's well worth getting. I mean, if you don't know this and you love Stereolab, then this is definitely an album for you. So here's the inner with all the details in it. So there you go. That's all the lyrics and everything. And and I really love this. So after I'd finished listening to Modern Cosmology, I thought, well, why not get a bit of Stereolab out? And so I did, and I chose this album, and it's Dots and Loops. And this is an album that came out in 1997, but this is a reissue from quite a bit later on, 2019, I think. Yes, 2019. So it's a triple album set. So you've got the original double album here, and then you've got an additional album as well, of various sort of outtakes and other tunes. And again, you just can't go wrong with this sort of this stuff. I mean, Stereolab are just fantastic. I could just listen to them, for hours and hours on end. And again, you've got Laetitia's voice, but also the music. And again, you've got that kind of lounge jazz sort of feel to a lot of it. But it's also, it's quite indie. And sometimes the music to me sounds like it could be a soundtrack to maybe a 1970s American detective series. I don't know. It's probably just me. It's probably just me that thinks that. But there's just sort of, from times I think, yeah, that would make that would make a nice soundtrack, And when the detective's in his car, traveling through the hills in LA, that's the sort of thing, And yeah, that's a fantastic album, as just about any Stereolab album is. Right, and last but definitely not least, I was contacted by a guy called Charlie about 3 weeks ago, and Charlie said, I'd like to send you a record. And I thought, great, I wonder what it's going to be. Anyway, I call him Charlie, but his name is Paddy, right? Okay, so we'll start again. Sorry, Paddy, yeah. I'm getting a bit confused, aren't I, in my old age? But yes, it's Paddy Connor, and it's his band, and there we go. And they called the Sturmey Archers, and the album's called We Failed. And I received this 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks last Saturday. And I listened to it a couple of times, and I talked about it for a little while on a live stream that I did with French Vinyl Addicts. But I'd not really had a chance to really sort of digest the album by then. And Paddy, when he contacted me, said that I want to send you this record because it's our music, and I think from what you show on your channel that you'll probably like it. And he's dead right. I do like it. It's really, really nice stuff. So. The music is a bit sort of a bit post-punky, a bit I don't know. Just get the out of there. Yeah, there it is. A bit post-punky, a bit pub rocky, and it's quite a humorous record as well. I like it when people take a bit of effort with the lyrics and make them something that you want to listen to. So you start off with their theme from Sturmey, which is the first track. Then you got Espresso Black, his famous moustache, which is a really, really nice song. I really love that. Does Someone Need a Hug? And then a track called Fat Paul Weller. And the lyrics are absolutely hilarious. I absolutely love it. And you can picture there are people around that are exactly like the person being depicted in the lyrics of that song. And then there's a track called All She Likes to Do Is Crochet, Get a Purpose, I'm Going Back in Time to Punch My Stupid Face, Betsy, and then We Failed. And the band, as well as Paddy on sort of vocals and guitar, you've got a guy called Keith Pugh, bass and lead guitar, Mike Vaughan on drums, and Lee Huxtable on the keyboards, and they do an absolutely brilliant job. I'll leave a link to Paddy's YouTube site, so you can see a couple of videos they've done of their music. And I'm really pleased to get this. And once again, thank you very much, Paddy. And I'm very sorry that I got your name wrong at the start of this little bit, but there you go. I'll put it down to my increasing years. But nonetheless, I'm really pleased with that. And again, it's a record that I played quite a few times now, and it really is. If you like. If you like stuff, if you like Nick Lowe, if you like Elvis Costello, I think you'd like these guys. You'd like Sturmey Archers, and as I say, I certainly do. And that's it. So that's everything I've been listening to recently. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, leave me a comment or not, as the case may be, and I'll see you next time. So bye.